Party's over.
Party's over?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
$350.
I like your hat.
Oh, thank you. $350 ticket.
Everybody who goes through this bull, take the arresting officer's name and badge number and come speak to me. I will help you set up a class action lawsuit. This is nothing less than a bullshit attempt to intimidate us. Hey, Menzies, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're here to record all this.
Well, folks, we return to Cherry Beach in Toronto, a bit of a good news, bad news situation. The good news is that there were no chainsaw-wielding maniacs around this time, but, well, on the bad news file, plenty of scary Toronto bylaw enforcement officers. You see, you may recall how a week ago Saturday, members of Yahoo Nation, as well as those who just wanted to have a jolly good time, made their way from their usual Queen's Park protest to an all-night party at Toronto's Cherry Beach. And a good time was indeed had by all, as a slice of Cherry Beach was transformed into an outdoor nightclub, complete with pulsating lights and music.
Like, do they not know what brought us to the world? It's health, it's human beings, it's sharing. It's being next to people. Being away from people is psychosis.
But on the following Sunday morning, two chainsaw-wielding degenerates showed up lunging at random pedestrians and cyclists. They then sawed up the DJ's equipment, causing some $4,000 in damage before thankfully being arrested by Toronto police. Oh, and here's a shocker. Turns out both of these chainsaw chumps have long criminal records. So the question arises, why aren't they rotting in jail? Maybe they were released so that their correctional facility could practice social distancing? But I digress. Despite this scary situation, hundreds returned to Cherry Beach last Saturday night / Sunday morning to party hardy. The good news this time around is that there were no Texas Chainsaw Massacre wannabes showing up to cause anybody harm, but there were dozens of police and bylaw enforcement officers who told the partygoers that if they did not leave the beach, they would be given a trespassing fine.
As you just mentioned, the government has a real agenda against anything that's fun. They want to ban fun at any level that they can. And guess what? We're not going to take that.
Some left, but when midnight struck, which was the first deadline, no tickets were issued. That's when law enforcement informed them that a new deadline was formed, namely 1 a.m. A few more left, but guess what? When 1 a.m. rolled along, no charges were issued, and then around 1:30 a.m., all the bylaw enforcement officers left. Because it would seem that obeying the law in Toronto these days is merely a suggestion, not a demand, given the number of filthy tent cities that have sprung up all over Hogtown this summer. Not that I'm upset that the partygoers were not charged, mind you. After all, to issue tickets to a bunch of young people having a jolly good time on the beach while turning a blind eye to the Antifa and BLM types who comprise the likes of Afro-Indigenous Rising as they illegally occupy public squares and public parks. Well, to charge one group and not the other, that would be downright hypocritical, wouldn't it? So welcome to Toronto, folks, where with every passing day, it seems that just about anything goes.
Freedom is essential. Freedom is essential. Freedom is essential. Freedom.
For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzies. Hey folks, if you are able to, please go to journalistdefensefund.com. That's journalistdefensefund.com and kick in a few bucks. We endeavor to bring you the other side of the story here at Rebel News, but there are forces afoot, such as that motley crew behind me, that don't want the other side told. We've racked up over $15,000 in security costs in the last few months alone. So that is our commitment to bringing you the other side of the story. Please, if you can, chip in a few bucks so we can continue to practice journalism in the public square.